If you pick up any magazine in America or look at any website that's making Big 12 predictions, they pretty much have Oklahoma State last. I'm looking at a Lindy's. I'm looking at all sorts of other publications. I think Phil Steele has Oklahoma State 14th or 15th. So maybe your best logic is just to say, if everyone is counting somebody down in the Big 12, then they're the money play.
So you're saying there's the chance. Mark, you're 100% spot on. Arizona State just proved that this league, the bipolar nature of the Big 12, allows a lot of teams to have the ability to make a run here at the end of the season. And I think Oklahoma State is going to be no different, right? Primarily because of this transfer portal era and getting down to the 105 roster limitations. I do think that the days of you having the Blue Bloods control every single conference every single year are going to become more few and far between, because I think the roster limitation is the biggest factor. Oklahoma State's going to be no different than anybody else. There's definitely a handful of players that were going to be factored into the fall roster that we are no longer allowed to rely on because they entered the transfer portal. And I think you're going to see that synonymous across college football, nowhere more so than the Big 12. You mentioned earlier how we didn't have a lot of one-score losses. But at the same point in time, I do think that that's something that sets Oklahoma State up for a redemption tour. You mentioned it, Mike Gundy. Death, taxes, 7-8 wins is traditionally where we always find ourselves within. And I think that people are overlooking that. Now, I've had my druthers to say about Mike Gundy over the years. There's been moments that I thought maybe his seat should have been a little hotter, but I don't think this season's one of them, primarily because of the fact that he did fire all of the coaches and hire all of the coaches. I think that showed that Mike Gundy understands that there is a new lay of the land in college football, and he had to make some adjustments, and I'm very happy that he definitely did that.
Got our guy Cody Stovall stopping by from Locked On All Day OK State. I know that you're there every day cranking it up on Locked On, so just let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, Locked On Oklahoma State. You can catch me essentially daily throughout the week for sure. And then my X is at All Day O State if you want to go check me out on there. Pretty exciting times, Mark. I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. The idea that Utah, because of Kyle Whittingham, is being projected as a top 4 pretty synonymously in this league. And Mike Gundy is being projected as a bottom 4 when they have the identical record. I think Mike Gundy has like one more bowl win or one more overall win than Kyle Whittingham. I do find it slightly ironic that they win 5 games, but everybody's saying, well, because of Kyle Whittingham, Utah's going to be back. Yet they're not affording the same thing to Mike Gundy in Oklahoma State. Again, I've had some issues with Mike Gundy over the years. I thought there was times that his seat was a little too comfortable, but after he rebuilt the entire staff and is a willing participant in the NIL era, like Mark, we're paying legitimate money for this roster that we've assembled this season. So this is going to be a good case study for Mike Gundy. He's never done this. He's never done the entire, roster being transfers thing before. But we've seen it has worked at times. Mel Tucker, before he got ran out of Dodge, did something miraculous with Michigan State with a full transfer roster. Florida State a couple years ago was 13-1 with a full transfer roster. I understand that there's some bad mixed in there as well. You look back to Florida State this previous season, but I think it all comes down to the culture that you have and the training that you're getting. The culture in Stiller has always been pretty good. That's been something that's helped us retain talent. But now you're seeing an uptick in coaching. Mike Gundy has never, you know this, Mark. Mike Gundy hires people that he thinks are going to be around for 4, 5, 6 years. So he typically goes and gets to the gym that not everybody in the country is going after. The fact that we're paying head coach money for a defensive coordinator that came recommended likely by Nick Saban and Todd Grantham, I think that does show that Mike Gundy realizes he's going to take more of a CEO role and let the coaches do what they're supposed to do. Less micromanagement within the roster and more management of obtaining new talent, I think, is the direction that Mike Gundy's going. And all of that leads me to believe that he understands this season is absolutely massive.